So, ladies and gentlemen, the conservative movement, quote unquote, continues to take L after L. Last week, it was in regards to Scott Presler, where you had Scott Presler putting out a homosexual picture where he was in this really awkward, really kind of disgusting pose, and people didn't like that. They said, I don't have any problem with Scott Presler. I like the work he does. But this homosexuality stuff is disgusting. It's an abomination in the eyes of God, and we're not about it. That was met with a lot of vitriol and ridicule from so-called conservatives saying, oh, that's ridiculous. I will fight to the death to defend Scott Presler and his homosexuality. Here's the deal. I have no problem with Scott Presler. Most people have no problem with Scott Presler. He does great work. But homosexuality is an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. I don't know what you want to do with that. You think you can rewrite the Bible? You think you can sort of, sanitize God for your modern Western sensibilities? What? No. It's abundantly clear. So, that was a major L. And you even had Steven Crowder and all these other so-called conservatives coming out to say, well, no, the compassionate thing to do is to embrace homosexuality and sin and degeneracy because, he's a conservative. And if you're a conservative, then you get special protections. No, absolutely not. Now, in today's case, it's a whore who had sex out of wedlock, had a kid, so she's a single mom now. The father was Elon Musk. Now, I don't wish any harm on the kid. I'm glad she didn't abort him. I don't think abortion was ever the plan. I think she, like a lot of these other bimbos, went out there to try to target Elon Musk because he's rich, and she viewed it as a payday, which is exactly what she said a couple years ago. Yeah, she essentially came out there and said, he's got a kid with a woman already, seems unlikely to work out. So she was targeting Elon Musk years ago. Well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. So the whole thing is, she was targeting Elon Musk because she wanted a kid because, it's basically free money. He's going to take care of them forever. That's not something to be commended or celebrated or championed or cheered, and yet you have so many people like this. Co-chair, GOP Youth Advisory Council. What does he say? I see far too many self-righteous and tired individuals pouncing, this is a word that the left uses all the time, pouncing on St. Ashley Clair for having a child out of wedlock instead of commending her for choosing life. This cum dumpster, this absolute gutter trash bimbo, chooses to put a dick between her legs and get pumped like a septic tank. And because he's one of the richest men in the world, and she chooses to keep the kid out of wedlock, we're supposed to commend her. Yay! Yay! You're a disgusting gutter trash bimbo. You're a cum dumpster. Congratulations. Oh my God. Yeah. Isn't that great? Isn't that great that this whore opened up her legs? I mean, I'm glad she didn't kill the kid. That's great. That is great. But no, she should not be commended. This isn't a celebration. If this is where our society is going, where homosexuality is put before the Bible, before Christianity, if you have women who are targeting men who are rich and trying to have a kid with them because they think it's going to be an easy payday, if that's the sort of society that you're building to, you're not a conservative, you're a leftist. You are somebody that doesn't believe in the tenets of the faith. You're somebody that believes in monetary gain and whatever is convenient and expedient. That's what you believe. Because is the conservative position not that every life is a blessing regardless of how it's conceived? Yes, but also no. You can say, okay, well, it's great that this kid didn't get aborted. That's true. That in itself is true. However, there are many different examples where the way that the child is conceived and all of the other details are not great. I mean, the most obvious one, I don't even have to say, if a woman was forced, to have a kid and chooses to have a kid, yeah, the kid's innocent. And in the case of Ashley St. Clair, no one's going after the kid. The kid is innocent. They're criticizing her, rightfully, for getting her guts flushed, and having a kid with this billionaire, knowing his reputation, knowing all the different details, and that's where people draw the line. I don't care what Elon Musk chooses to do, or what this gutter trash come dumpster bimbo chooses to do. They're consenting adults, that's their choice. But they put it in public, and so now we're going to talk about it. What she did was wrong. She shouldn't have done that. It's gross. It's gross because she knew that he wasn't going to be in a committed relationship with her. She went in there to have a kid to get a payday. That's it. That's what she did. And if you commend her and you celebrate her and you promote her for what she did, you're a piece of garbage. Here's how I respond. This is insanity. The amount of people pretending to be conservatives is absolutely wild. No, in no universe is it being self-righteous or tired. To point out the obvious moral failing on display here, you cucked out of your mind freaks are embarrassing. True. Pearl Davis responds, getting cream pie by a billionaire is not honorable. Milo Yiannopoulos, of all people, no, that is not the conservative position. Here we have this guy responding, I'd be more amenable to the criticism if she had a child out of wedlock with a brokey, as is too often the case. So these conservatives, if you can even call them that, I don't think they're conservatives. I think we need to define a new word to describe them. I don't even think capitalist is the right thing. I think these people, I don't know what you call it, monetarists? Where the morality of a situation is determined by how much money you have. So, in this guy's case, you can have a kid out of wedlock. You can have as many kids out of wedlock as you want, as long as you're wealthy. So you don't need to really care about the Bible or what it says about faith or what it says about marriage. You don't really need to care about morality at all. If you have monetary gain, that's fine. Or maybe it's not just monetary. If you are useful to them, then that's the case. Because I wouldn't say that Scott Pressler is wildly wealthy. But him putting out a picture like he did, which was of him putting his leg up on the wall and, another guy basically putting his arm on the wall, kind of like a weird, it was a weird picture. Let's see, Scott Pressler. It's a weird picture. Let's see if I can just pull it up. Oh boy. Yeah, I think it was this guy who did it, but this is the picture right here. Like, this is really, really weird. It's gross. But the point is, yeah, it's really gross. It's really weird. The point is, nobody hates Scott Pressler. They just recognize that homosexuality is a sin, and it's wrong, and it's gross. But because Scott Pressler is useful, well, then homosexuality is not that bad, and we should really tolerate it and accept it. And that's sort of the position we're in here. You have some people who look at, Ashley St. Clair, And they're like, oh, well, she's conservative, quote. She's not really conservative, but she says she's conservative. She says she's MAGA, and she didn't kill the kid. So therefore, we should be commending her. We should be celebrating her. And I'm sitting here going, you people are freaks. You people are absolute freaks. No. People are rightfully crucifying her, metaphorically speaking. People are rightfully calling her out. And they should. We should bring back shame. 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 You're a disgusting, predatory prostitute. You targeted a guy because he was wealthy to have his kid, and the messages are there. You should be shamed for that. That means that publicly, your name should be mud. Now, I'm not saying that anyone should go out and carry out any sort of act of, we need to drag her through the street and flog her like in Game of Thrones. But no. It should be clear that we as a country do have a moral framework. We should return to being a Christian nation. And being part of a Christian nation is understanding a couple things. Number one, hate the sin, not the sinner, which is exactly what happened in the case of Scott Presler. The sin of homosexuality is disgusting, and it's repellent, and it's wrong. But people are willing to accept Scott Presler because of the work that he does. He does good work. But it doesn't change the fact these fake conservatives, these fake Christians, want to say, but his works absolves him of his sin, so we shouldn't even mention it. My thing is, that's great he's doing good work. Also, he's engaging in something that the Lord finds to be an abomination, and he should absolutely stop doing that, and he should denounce that, and that is the moral, normal thing to do. Same thing with, Ashley St. Clair. I don't expect anything from her. She's a bimbo. She's a low IQ, grifting whore. I don't expect anything from her, but the bare minimum is that we shouldn't be falling over ourselves to congratulate her. Congratulations. You opened up your legs and you got pumped full of semen. You did it deliberately. You did it willingly. You knew what you were doing. You were trying to get pregnant, as is obvious. No, you're not going to be congratulated. You're not going to be celebrated. And I need conservatives to stop taking these massive L's. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. And the only thing that you do when you do this is establish that you don't really have any moral position to speak of at all. That's what I have to say about this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. See you next time.